back to it, part 2. So I got to solve x squared minus x is greater than 30. Okay, so think about this whole thing. Think about it. Before you even do it, I mean, if x were 100, it'd work. 100 squared is going to be bigger than 30. 1,000 squared is bigger than 30. So there's lots and lots of answers. But there's also negatives because negative 100 squared is a positive number, right? So there's all sorts of numbers that are bigger. So we can't just say x is equal to it. There's a bunch of them. That's why we use our number line, right? So let's solve it. First thing we do is bring over 30 because I want to factor x squared minus x minus 30 is greater than 0. So what I want to first all do is find what I call the border points. Those are the points that are equal to 0. So if I factor, and I'm looking for border points, x, I'm going to go negative 6 and a positive 5 because those are the values that make it equal 0. So, you know, I've factored it. Now I'm going to go to my mini equations and find the values that make it equal 0. One is 6 and the other border is x equals negative 5. Those are the two values that make it equal to 0 but not greater. So on my number line, I'm going to shoot a number line. I'll put negative 5 here and I'll have 6 here, okay? What I need to do, because it's an inequality, is I'm going to put an open circle at negative 5 and open circle at 6, right? Now, 0 will not work. None of these values will work because if you plug in 0, 0 is not going to be bigger than 30, right? So none of these values are going to work. They will not. These values will not be bigger than 30, will they? But all of these values squared will be bigger than 30, and all of these values, these negative values squared, will also be. So on a number line, it looks like this, and this includes all of the values: 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's be negative 6, negative. So all of these values. That's why you have to shade. If you wanted to write that as an expression, you go negative 5 greater than x greater than 6. Okay, and what we do is we use the exact same symbol or inequality symbol as in the question in the answer. It's that easy. Okay. All right. Now, on the next one, 16. So before I do 16, let's take a look at a visual. Y equals x squared minus 4, and y equals a negative x minus 2. Okay. Now, it looks like this, and we're not going to do it algebraically, but it looks like this. Okay, so visually, there are 2 points of intersection. You've got a parabola. I've got a parabola from the x squared, and I've got a straight line from the linear. Now, 2 ways to do it. One, we could use the calculator and do the intersect button, but there's a faster way, and that's just use the algebra. So what's going on is the two graphs are equal at these 2 points. That's where they equal each other, right? So let's take the two graphs and set them equal. So let's take our x squared minus 4 and set it equal to a negative x plus 2. Now, I'm still going to probably want to factor, but to factor, I want to make it equal to 0. So I'm going to bring over the negative x. Yes?
It's negative x minus 2.
Oh my goodness. Thanks, Olivia. Thank you. So I'm going to add my x and have an x squared plus an x. I'm going to add my 2, and I'll have a negative 4 plus 2. I'll have a negative 2 equals 0. Okay? So in order to factor, to find the zeros, you've got to set it equal to 0. I did that. Brought things over. Now, if I factor, I'm going to go x plus 2 and x minus 1 make the 1. 2 answers, right? In fact, 2 points, 2 answers. So one answer is a negative 2 something and a positive 1 something. I got those from the mini equations, right? X equals negative 2, x equals 1. Now, to get the corresponding values, I'm going to take these answers and plug them in. So to plug them in, what? I'm sorry. So what I did, Angel, is I set them equal. I needed to equal 0 to factor, so I brought over the x, and I brought over the 2. Okay? Now it factors into x plus 2 x minus 1. The mini equations will give me an answer of negative 2 and positive 1, right? Those are my x values, negative 2, 1. Those actually represent these 2 points, but they don't have a y value. They don't have a y value because points have a y value, right? So how am I going to get the y value? I'm going to plug it in. Well, I can plug it into either equation, but probably plug it into the y equals negative x minus 2 is the easier one to plug it into, right? So if I took and put a negative 2 right here, put a negative 2 right there, I have a y equals a negative 2 minus 2. It's just plug it in to get its pair, its y value, right? So I get a 0. This will give me a 0. Positive 2 minus 2, 0. There's 1 point of intersection. Take my 1 and plug it in. So I'd have a y equals a negative 1 minus 2, which is a negative 3. Those are these 2 points. Okay? Okay, it's going to get easy now. You ready for the easy stuff? Honest. It's going to get easy. 17. Let's see 17. All right. 17, we're going to let the calculator do the work. Okay? Let's let the calculator do the work on 17. Okay? All right, I'm going to go slowly. Calculator. Okay? Go to y equals. Go 6 subtract x squared. Okay? Y equals 6 minus or subtract x squared, right? Got it? Graph. Boom. Let the calculator do the work. Okay? So it looks like this. I'm going to have a point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like this. Okay, so far the calculus is doing all the work, right? What does this symbol say? What's this symbol say? Greater than. So if I'm standing at the vertex, I'd shade above it to be greater than. So I'm going to shade everything. Let's see if I have a colored pencil around here somewhere. Yeah, I do. Well, kind of. So I shade everything above it. Everything above the parabola. That wasn't hard. I let the calculator graph it for me. And I knew that to be greater than I shade above it. So that's above my parabola. Okay. 18, just as easy, except for we have 2 of them to graph. 18, y is less than or equal to 9 minus x squared, and y is greater than or equal to x squared plus 5x minus 6. Okay, watch. Watch. Let the calculator do it, okay? So, you ready? Y equals 9 minus x squared, right? If I graph it, it looks like that. Looks like that. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it looks like this. It says less than, so I'm going to shade below it. Okay, I'm going to shade below it because it says less than. There we go. So I shade less, so I shade below it. Okay, does that make sense why I'd go below it because of less than? Here's my less than, so I shade below it. So I shaded everything below it. Okay, now how about the other one? Let the calculator get it. Y equals, we'll go x squared plus 5x, subtract 6. And let the calculator do the work, right? Push the button. Boom, there it is. It looks like that. So let me put that one in. It looks something like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs a general shape. Okay, and this one says it's going to be greater than. So it's everything above this parabola. Where do the 2 colors overlap is my answer. 2 colors overlap in this region here. I'll use better pin than that. How's this? That'll make it even better. Oh yeah. Oh, I like that much better. Here we go. Okay. Okay, got 2 more questions left. We're gonna be done. Whew. It's killing it. Hang in there. Okay, the easiest question of all. Number 19. Okay, this problem tomorrow is worth 3 points. 1, can you put it in the formula correctly? 1 point for just putting numbers in the right place. That should be easy, right? Here's our formula. It will be on the board. You do not have to memorize it. Okay, it's right here. Okay, 1. To give 1 out of 3 points, can you put the numbers in the right place? Sure you can, right? A is 2, B is 3, C is 5, right? So, negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times 2 times 5, yeah. Yep. Thank you. Glad somebody's paying attention. You saw that, didn't you? Yeah. All over 2 times 2. Okay, so obviously I didn't get a point. Blew that one, didn't I? You got it though, didn't you? Yep. So, step 1. 1 point. Can you put the numbers in the right place? Obviously I can't, but you can. Okay? Second part is to simplify this. Simplify it, okay? Negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus 40 all over 4. How am I doing? Simplify it further. Negative 3 plus or minus the square root of a negative 31 over 4. Now that's 2 out of 3. Where's the third point going to come from? I think I see something. The third point, I think I see something. Do you see something? I see an I. Right here, I've got a square root of a negative 1, don't I? So to get the third point, we're going to go, sure, negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 31 I over 4. Easy. It's probably the easiest question on the test.
Wait, can you move it up?
Yeah. And then last but not least, we are almost done. Okay. You can do this, can't you? Yeah. It's not hard, it's just tedious. You guys agree? Not hard. Okay, whisk this away. And all right, last but not least. All right, 20. So ball's thrown up in the air, right? So it looks something like this. This is time, and this is height. So ball's thrown up in the air, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004 maybe, right? And then hits the ground, right? So we want to find the highest height and the time, which is our vertex. Okay? So our equation in this one is h equals negative 16t squared plus 48t. Okay? That's the equation for this ball. It goes up, comes down, okay? Now, I want that spot right there. That's the vertex. So we have a little equation. So to find the vertex, we're going to go t equals negative b over 2a. We want to use that little mini equation. Okay? So t is equal to a negative 48 over a 2 times a negative 16. Okay? This is going to give me the time. It's going to give me the time. Negative over negative, so I've got a 48 over a 32, which is 1.5. Now 1.5 is not the height. It's the time. You throw it up in the air, and at 1.5 seconds, it's at the height. So my time is 1.5 seconds. The height, we got to plug it in. The height's going to be negative 16 times 1.5 squared plus 48 times 1.5. I'm just going to use my calculator. It's the easiest way to do it. 16 times squared plus 48 times 1.5. And I get 36. And that's the height. 36 feet. Okay, now, last question. When's it going to hit the ground? It should be really easy. Should be really easy. When's it going to hit? Now, the height is 0, I agree, but what time? It's 3. Has to be 3. Common sense. If it takes 1.5 seconds to get here, nice job. Then it's going to be another 1.5 seconds to get there. You guys agree? So it hits the ground at 3 seconds. Nice job. Okay, I'm going to stop recording and